Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Saga 2 Goddess of Destiny episode 38. Using the relics we were rewarded for surviving the dragon race last time around, we're now able to head across the celestial world, down this pillar here to a new world which is one of the largest in the game. I expect to be here for quite a while. And if I remember correctly from the original game, there's some pretty complicated event triggers, so I might actually end up having to wander around just a little bit to figure out what to do at various times. There are a lot of locations in this world, and I don't remember the optimal order in which to visit them. So we're just going to be figuring out things as we go along. Really distinct looking location here. I really like it already, just looking at it. This is a location inspired by a particular period in historical Japan. So a lot of references here that are probably going to be going over my head, not being an expert on the Edo era myself. But before we get too deep into this Edo world, I'm going to go ahead and draw some attention to a relic that we obtained last time around, which is one of the more potent ones in the game. And in fact, I'm actually going to be replacing Elodie's lightning crystal with it, which should tell you that it's extremely good, because this is going to lower Elodie's spirit stat from 35 to 24, at least temporarily. But I think that it's worth doing. So this is the Aegis Shield. And this is a sacred shield that neutralizes attacks by the goddess's blessing. And this is a relic that acts as a shield. Essentially, it's a shield item which has 100% effectiveness, and which more importantly does not take up a slot in one's inventory. It takes the relic slot instead, which is like their floating 11th slot. But anyway, for a character like Elodie, who's using up all of her slots, like 4 of her slots are just automatically filled by her 4 Esper abilities. And then I've got the other 4 on lockdown here. I said 11th, I actually meant 9th because they have 8 equipment slots, not 10, but whatever. Yeah, so Elodie's slots for equipment are all pretty much locked down with her current setup, meaning that even if I wanted to equip a shield with her, I would be able to. The Aegis relic, however, takes that place, and it's also an excellent shield because it has 100% effectiveness, and it has the added benefit of increasing the entire party's resistance to elemental attacks for the entire duration of the battle. And that's probably not something we're going to notice a whole lot since everybody has dragon armor on right now, which does a similar effect, but it's really powerful. Just being able to use that Aegis once has that elemental resistance effect for the entire rest of the fight. It's pretty potent. And out of this chest that I excavated here, I have a body source that'll increase somebody's max HP, probably Elodie's. We'll go ahead and give that to her, increasing her max HP from 379 up to 419. Wow, that was a pretty drastic increase. She's now out ahead of Zenith and Natsmer in terms of max HP somehow. Interesting. Alright, surprisingly not very many excavate points here on this map. It's a relatively compact world for as many locations as there are to explore here. And while we're exploring, let's go ahead and fight something, since I have not gotten into any battles here on this world yet, and this ghost-like thing is right in my way, so let's fight a fiend. I don't think I've seen one of these before, and I managed to get the preemptive attack. That's surprising, because I noticed that right before the battle started, I actually the exclamation point actually appeared above his head. And I assumed that the criteria for a preemptive attack was that they never got the exclamation point. Anyway, as you can see, this is what the Aegis actually looks like in battle. Pretty cool looking. You can see an inscription of the goddess's face there in the center of it. So I'm going to go ahead and use that with Elodie. In addition to the effects that I outlined, that's also going to have the side effect of increasing her defense from time to time outside of battle, which is the same effect as if she was using any other shield, but it's going to be very, very good for her in the long run because her defense stat is quite low. So I'm taking a short-term hit to Elodie's spirit stat in hopes of getting a long-term boon of a defense increase. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. I'm definitely going to miss Elodie's extremely powerful magic for the time that she's using that Aegis shield. But increasing her defense is going to be very good for me in the long run. And plus, when she's actually using the thing, she's going to be a lot harder to kill, which means all of her stats are going to be seeing more increases just because she's going to be surviving until the end of the fight more often, by which I mean at all. Anyway, she just learned Poison Fog in place of O Earthquake. I'm happy to see O Earthquake finally go, because that's not something I was getting a whole lot of value out of, but I don't think I'm going to be getting a whole lot of value out of the second Poison Fog, for that matter. Let's see, looks like there's another side to the world over there. I don't think I should be going off exploring in that direction yet. I should probably just choose a place and go visit it. Let's see what this village right here is. There are 2 villages plus a castle in this area. Let's see, this is Castle Town. What's the other one called? I'll decide based on the name which one I want to investigate first. Actually, I probably wanted to investigate Castle Town first. But let's go ahead and see what this one down here is. This one is... the Bugyo's Court. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely not where I want to be yet. Let's go back up to Castle Town, I guess. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and do that. I see 2 caves on the map, 2 towns on the map, and up north. Was there anything else up there? Okay, let's go ahead and explore here first. Enough indecision for now. Let's go ahead and check out Castle Town. Let's see, it looks like a pretty barren area, only a couple of buildings we can actually go into. Well, let's see what this person has to say. Apparently, the second sons of samurai call themselves the Tenshugumi. They create nothing but mischief wherever they go. Alright. Let's see, we have an inn here. Do I actually need to use this? Actually, I might as well go ahead and use it. Because I used a relic ability on the map, and because Elodie's max HP increased, if nothing else. Let's see, you can actually see the beds in the warehousemen. It's cool to see such a different layout for an inn than we've seen in the past, because it's almost universal that they have the beds on the left and the innkeeper on the right. And there's actually a jukebox here, which looks completely out of place. Like, this does not look like a building that would have electricity supplied to it. But apparently they have a jukebox here, so cool on them. And I guess there's no pub in this town, so it makes sense that a jukebox would be put there, if anywhere. And it looks like both the weapon and tool shops are in this same building here. Let's see, this shop seems to be doing particularly well recently due to some crafty trading. Sounds legit, alright. Actually, doesn't look like I can do any shopping right here. I've got a... Oh, here we go. Here's someone to sell me things. What do they have to sell in this town? I don't have a lot of money right now, just over 11,000. But looks like here we can buy a flare tome, which is one of the more powerful tomes in the game, but it's not something I can afford right now, or something that I would really be interested in, since I haven't really been using tomes all that much. Also, I can be looking to save up for the Dragon Sword, the Leopard 2, interesting, missiles, a beam rifle, a Mountain Storm, which is a taijutsu technique, and they have circlets here. Also cottages, that's cool. A cottage is an item that completely restores the HP and abilities of your party as if you rested at an inn, so it's sort of like a tent in Final Fantasy games. Let's see, this Leopard 2, this is interesting. I think this is the tank from the original game. In the original game, this was just called Tank, and Tank was one of the more powerful weapons in the game because it not only attacked, but it also had the effect of using a shield on your turn, so you would have the best of both worlds, offense and defense, with a single action. Huh, this guy's stopping me from going behind the counter. Okay, I guess I'll stay up front for the time being. Looked like there was another room we could have gotten to back there, but that'll have to wait for later. Did I talk to this person before? Echigoya made a killing selling lumber after a recent earthquake. Okay. Looks like they're experiencing earthquakes here, much like on other worlds. Whoa, alright. A lot of people taking an interest in where I'm walking in this world. Let's see. Oh, wow. Look at those guys. Stand in our way is contempt of our authority. Slaughter them. Hey, I was just walking across this bridge. I had no idea that this was... whoa. 8 of them? Alright. So we have 8 divine justices, which is probably a literal translation of whatever they're called. That's okay, we'll go ahead and fight them. Let's see, flying knee kick here. Let's go ahead and pull out the flamethrower with Natsmer here, and the flame sword from Virtue. Let's see, starting out with the Aegis Shield, giving everyone all for the time being. Let's see, go ahead and hit the X button for a threat attack on Virtue's turn. Does the flame sword actually hit multiple enemies? No, it doesn't. Alright, so the combo attacks that hit an entire group, but that are still based on a single targeting weapon, are probably my favorites, but when you're just upgrading a single target attack to a much more powerful single target attack, it's a little bit less impressive. It's still worth doing, definitely, but not really what I want to see. Like, Virtue with his current weapon setup has no way of hitting more than one character at the same time, which makes encounters like this not really where he shines. So it would be nice to see the threads sort of like open up that sort of opportunity that he wouldn't have otherwise, but it's not the case. Let's see, Elodie barely made it through the first round and didn't survive to take a turn in the second one, which is too bad. That's okay. Let's see. I guess the I just not completely protect the wearer, but anyway. It helped her survive long enough, and we made it through the fight. Everyone else survived. Max HP increase and agility increase for Zenith, as well as max HP for Natsmer, and a lot of money, 3,000, very nice. That's good since the things here are so much more expensive than I can actually afford at the moment. Yeah, send those Divine Justices running. Looks like they're not going to go as easy on me next time. Oh, and who's this? Looks like someone else taking an interest in us. We can see this character from a bunch of angles. Alright, who is this? Walk, walk, walk. She's taking her time getting over here. Come on, we don't have all day. Alright, I'm Otama, private detective. You're outsiders, aren't you? Honored Tenshugumi, it is not dishonorable for warriors to charge outside visitors with unreasonable demands. Should I let Shogun's court know about this? We'll let you off this time. Yeah, so we have a detective character here. She was named Hannah in Final Fantasy Legend 2. I guess her original name though was Otama. Let's see, and it looks like all she's going to do is leave for the time being, but definitely someone that we'll be encountering later on in this world. A couple of different characters that we'll be meeting along the way. Virtue says that she's a cool lady. Alright, well, we have an excavate point up here. Let's go ahead and check that out. And I have noticed that I need to heal Elodie. Don't worry about that. Gonna find out what's in this chest first, though. Gotta take care of these matters first. We have a gold Obidome. Okay, not sure what that is. Probably a gift for the muses, so I'll save that for later. Let's see, go ahead and do some healing. Probably want to stop by the inn once again before I do anything else, but I can go ahead and, let's see, we have more shops over here. Okay, so there was one shop on the other side of the river, and two more over here. Let's see, this one sells some weapons, hopefully cheaper than the ones at the other store. Yeah, a little bit cheaper. We have an Ice Brand, a Staff of Sorcery, a Vulcan Gun, which is a group targeting weapon. We have a Cat's Claw, which is a Taijutsu technique, a Coral Sword, an Ogre Killer, and a Beam Rifle. Oh, and a Mountain Storm, which is something they sold over there. So some redundant inventory between the two weapon shops, but some cheaper stuff here as well. But still, all of it outside of my current range. So I'll pass on it for now. Let's see, probably nothing over here I'm too interested in the tool shop, but I'll check it out anyway, just in case. Is that a tree? Is there a tree running this store, or is that like... It's not a mushroom, that's totally a tree. Okay, we can buy a kimono here, which is surprisingly cheap, but it looks like it doesn't actually provide that much defense. Also, we have... Wait, what is this? A defense technique that catches an opponent's weapon with a swift movement, the Blade Grasp. Alright. So this is... Oh, that's interesting. So this is like a shield type item, but it's based on agility instead of a flat percentage. Okay, I don't think this was in the original game. This is really interesting. I haven't seen this before, but not anything I can afford. Also, dragon shields and a battle exosuit, which is a pretty potent looking armor there, defense of 26, and usual healing items as well, nothing I'm interested in though. Time to move along to the next part of the world, but before I leave this castle town here, I'm gonna rest at the inn once again. So I think I can conclude from that encounter with Otama that I correctly deduced that the castle town was the first place in this world where we were meant to go. So I think next up I'm going to try once again this court down here. I don't think I have any business here yet. I'm probably just going to get turned away. Oh, but there is an excavate point that I didn't see the last time I was here. Oh, and a pawnbroker there. What is he doing? He's like looking at that fence. Is there something back there? That's funny that he's like facing the wall, like he's trying to look through a crack at something back there. Shifty guy, the pawnbroker. Alright, so let's do a little bit of digging. I hate to disrupt this beautiful sand garden here. Looks like someone put a lot of effort into, actually, is this even a sand garden? I'm not sure what this, like, ground is supposed to be. It looks like the sand of, like, a Zen garden or something to me, but I'm not actually sure because the color seems a little bit off for that. But in any case, it looks like someone arranged this ground to look this way. Anyway, we got a gold nugget, which is nothing too impressive. Anything to do here? This is the Bugio's court. Okay. I guess not. So, well, we got the gold nugget in any case, but let's move along, see what else there is to explore here in this world. See, I saw a fish flying around. I like the trees here. The trees look different than we've seen in previous worlds. Nice little touch there. Probably like Sakura trees, since this is the more Japanese-inspired of the worlds we've been to. Let's see. Uh-oh, back attacked and two groups of enemies at the same time. They both look like they're fiends, though. Actually, we got a mix of things. We got a... alright, hold on. We've got a fairy, a fiend, a hermit crab, and a phantom. Okay, I know I've seen hermit crabs and fiends before. I've seen earlier versions of the fairy and the phantom, but I don't think I've seen those two specific enemies before. Anyway, 4 different types of foes here, so I think poison fog would probably be the best thing for Melody. if I was going to attack, but since I got the Aegis Shield, I kind of want to stick to that strategy and see how that works out for me. Flying Knee Kick, we'll put that on the Phantom. I've had problems with these ghost-type enemies before, so let's actually focus our fire on the Phantom for the time being. Yep, opening up with the Aegis Shield there, powering up everyone with the O-All, and we have a threat opportunity here on Virtue, which should kill that Phantom back there. Wow, 4 digits of damage, fantastic. And the Fiend is only using Sleep on Virtue, which I'm always happy to see, ineffective choice. And there we see the Guard of the Aegis in effect. Cool, cool, very happy to see that. And Zenith is apparently immune to sleep. I guess that's one of the effects of the Aegis. Okay, cool. I didn't realize that it had that effect. Okay, so I guess O-All means all elements and all status effects. That might exclude some really powerful status effects like the Stone Condition, Break, whatever it's called. That might be excluded by O-All, but yeah, that's really powerful. Okay, so I think we're just going to stick with the Aegis Shield, make sure that Elodie survives. We've got 3 opponents left here. Let's go ahead and target the Hermit Crab with everybody this time. Since both the Fiend and the Fairy seem intent on using status effect attacks, both of them being like magic characters, I think the O-All I put up is going to protect me well enough from those 2 characters. Alright, so yeah, just a little ineffective claw attack from the Fiend there. But the Hermit Crab probably has some physical attacks that I'm not protected against. Let's see, I'm not going to use this thread on Natsmer's turn here. I don't think I'm going to need it to clean up the rest of this fight, and I've already used several threads already. Yeah, I'll just stick it out with the Aegis Shield, I suppose. And everyone attack the Fairy this turn. Yeah, so things are going to be a little bit slower going now that I've got Elodie on like full-time defense. But I think it's going to be much better for me in the long run that she's actually surviving these fights in order to see some stat increases. If I am going to make the obviously suboptimal choice of putting my Esper on the top of the party, I should at least be playing her defensively. And there we go, defense increase, fantastic. I think that's probably the first time I've seen a character's defense increase naturally all games, since I've never had any of my non-robot characters using shields before. Alright, Taijutsu handling increase from Zenith, absolutely wonderful. Gonna have to pass on that Hermit Crab meat. That does sound really delicious. I'm pretty fond of seafood. Oh, and Melmene! That's another side effect of the fact that I'm using shields. I'm finally going to be getting boosts from Melmene, who rewards you for fighting defensively. Oh, and I think I referred to Polinia as Melmene earlier when she was supporting me in battle. Sorry about that, Polinia. It's just so easy to confuse the 2 of them when they're both twins. Let's see, here we have an Edo castle. Looks like there are monsters inside the castle. Is that right? Alright, well I guess I can go ahead and fight one of these guys, see if there's anything different here. If nothing else, it's a new environment. I think this is a new enemy. We might have encountered these in the race world, maybe? We have 5 Gazers, okay. I'll go ahead and try to fight the Gazers. These are probably going to try to turn my characters to stone or paralyze them or something, which we should be able to handle with a little bit of O-All from the Aegis. And let's use a flamethrower here, set those things on fire, set those eyeballs on fire there. Yep, set up the O-All. That's going to make a lot of these magic-using enemies pretty trivial for me from here on out. Oh yeah, Blind, that's the status effect they use. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did encounter these on the race world. Anyway, yeah, the immunity, oh yeah, it's all coming back to me now, the Destruction Beam. Alright, well, we're getting a boost here on Natsmer's turn, so she's going to use the Blaze Cannon, maybe finish things off right here. Yeah, okay, that Blaze Cannon's really powerful. So yeah, a lot of these status effect using attacks, or status effect using enemies, are going to be made a lot weaker by the Aegis, but we still have to look out for their damaging attacks, which can be quite devastating. Let's see, what is Elodie's defense right now? It's 32? Okay, so her defense is still the worst of anyone in the party, but that may finally change now that she's using that Aegis. Aegis? I don't know, it's shameful that I don't actually know how to pronounce that word. It's an actual English word, I should know how to pronounce it. Let's see, we may not enter the castle courtyard. It's requested that we leave. Well, if I'm not allowed in there, then I'm not actually sure where to go. Probably one of these other directions. I can find an alternate way into this castle, assuming I'm even meant to be in this castle. Anyway, I'll figure that out next time. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you then.